We got a 1970 Toro Whirlwind push mower right here. This is a 21 inch. Now, determine what year this was. I just took and ran the numbers down there on the tag on the front of this engine. This is a 3.5 horse Tecumseh engine. Now, the story behind this thing is, this has been sitting about 30 years. I picked this up here from a gentleman. It just sat in an old rundown shed on the back of his property. He said this was his grandma and grandpa's lawnmower, and he picked it up about 30 years ago, had intentions on doing something with it and restoring it. Well, it's been sitting ever since then. So we're going to see about getting this thing running again, see if it'll run after sitting for 30 years. See, now what's interesting about this Whirlwind right here, you see that type of blade it's got on there? It's kind of cool how that's set up there. It's got that angle on it. This mower deck on here is made out of aluminum. Not quite sure what this thing right here does on here. Maybe someone out there knows what this is. I'd kind of like to know, so please leave a comment down below on that. It's all original here. It's been sitting for a while, starting to get the corrosion on here. I have to see if this is going to work or not. So I guess we'll get started here and see if we got any fuel down here in the gas tank. Yeah, she's bone dry. Could be a good thing or a bad thing. See, she's got oil in it. Yep, we got oil in it, so that's a good sign. Hopefully, we can get this thing up and get it running pretty quick here. Well, the old air filter here is pretty clean on it. Yeah, it might not take too much to get this thing up and running again. Not set up on it. The recoil on that's a little stiff on this. See about getting that some lubrication. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to take and spray a little bit of starting fluid down there and see if we can get her to cough. Yeah, this recoil here is going to have to be loosened up a little bit. I have to get some of the old liquid muscle to put on there. Try one more time. Maybe it's just not getting in that manifold. Well, she's not wanting to call, so I guess we need to check and see if she's got some spark or not here. See if we got some fire at the spark plug. Spark plug don't look too bad on her. See if we can see any spark on this. There we got spark. Throttle cable up here a little bit. That's probably got to replace this cable on here to get this working right. So let's put this plug back in here and it'll start now. That was my bad. I should check that and make sure the throttle was opened up enough and not shutting that circuit down where it was shutting the spark down. That'll be. She wants to run. We'll try that again. Come on, Bessie. Yeah. Nice, she's gonna run. Alright, well, she'll run the starting fluid. Let me see if I'll get a little bit of gasoline here and see if we can feed the carburetor, see if he'll stay running or not. Well, we'll try again with the starting fluid. You don't want to run on gas. No, she don't want to run very long right now. So I think we're going to do, take and pull this carburetor off here a little bit and see if it's got some gunk or something at the bottom of it. It's not letting it pick that fuel up and draw into the engine. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to pull this here cable off here and see if we can work this throttle on here manually. Maybe we can get her to bust off that way and run a little bit. Cable's really stiff on it, and that's not helping us out in this situation. Yeah, we're gonna have to replace that cable on her. But I can move this throttle mechanism here okay. That seems to be working all right. Try one more time. If we can't get it to start and stay running a little bit here, we'll go ahead and pull that carburetor off and see if we got some dirt in there. We'll get the old spark plug tester and this put on here. Just make sure it's keeping a consistent spark. Kind of makes me wonder because it acted like it wanted to start and run there for a little bit, and then it just kind of petered out and don't want to do nothing. Yep, we're still getting fire down there at the plug. Alright, well, we got a fuel issue more than likely, so we're going to go ahead and pull that carburetor off and see what that looks like. There's probably some gunk in the fuel bowl. We'll check that out. Yeah, I think that's what our problem is. The garbage inside that carb there. Check that out. Got our keel right here. That wears, so it seems to be okay. Noticing on here too, this is some blue fuel line right here. So this doesn't even have the right fuel line on. I mean, this fuel line will work, but we're going to change that. Ultimately, they want you to take the manifold off. I just didn't want to do that if I didn't have to, but, well, might be easier if I do. So, we'll just go ahead and do that. That way we know we got a good mating gasket surface as we put this all back together when we fire it up. Get the old impact screwdriver here off to hit these screws they got to hold these carburetors on. Never been much of a fan. These seems like a lot of times these screw heads like to strip out and then they can be a real bugger to get off. fuel line is pretty much 2-cycle oil anyway. 2-cycle fuel line. Alright. Well, you can check this out and see what we find in the old float bowl here on this. What I'll do once I get this part, I'm just going to take and throw this in the old ultrasonic cleaner right here just to clean this up a little bit. Oh, go ahead and we'll clean this up here and see if we can make something happen. Alright, well, here's the thing on this carburetor. I did this off camera. I threw the carburetor in the ultrasonic cleaner for about 15 minutes and took it out and just kind of blew it out real good, ran some carburetor cleaner through some of the ports in it. I didn't do a super clean job on the carburetor, more thorough like I normally do, but the idea is I just want to see if we can get this thing up and running or not. I did pull the gas tank off of it. It had some dirt and some ladybugs that were in the bottom of it I saw, so I flushed all that out. Took and replaced that fuel line on it. So we're going to put some gas in this thing and see if we get any difference at all. Hoping for the best. This thing's going to at least run for you guys a little bit, because ultimately the carburetor probably should be replaced, or if I can find another one out back in my stock somewhere that I can make work on it. So let's give her a whirl. We won't put an awful lot of gas in there in this case this thing, the float's not going to seal up good. Come on, Bessie. Work with me. Well, try a little bit of starting food in here and see if that helps it out. She wants to run when you spray some carburetor cleaner in it, so I wasn't real hopeful on this carburetor. Let's try that one more time. Well, it is starting to settle down a little bit. It's kind of hard to control the throttle lever here in a way without the throttle cable on it, but hey, it doesn't run too bad. Needs a little more fine tuning on it, but all in all, she's a runner. This is something I'm just going to get cleaned up once this is done to get it fine tuned a little bit better. It's going to be for sale. We still got other projects we got working on. Got the old 68 727 Broadmoor over here. I did get the steering on this thing fixed, so that's working like it's supposed to. So next thing I gotta do this is do some rewiring on that. And we still got the little Wonder Boy 600 sitting over there. That's gonna get tore down for a restoration. But well, that's gonna wrap it up here on the Will It Run here for this 1970 Toro 21-inch Whirlwind lawnmower. What a neat old lawnmower here. Wasn't too terrible to get running. So listen, we're going to have some more cool content come to y'all in the future. More Will It Run videos for sure. And of course, we still got more projects we've been working on. We'll update you on as well. But yeah, please hit that like button down below if I could talk you into subscribing. Until next time, we'll see you in our next video. Take care, everyone.